Hope everyone had a happy Thanksgiving and ready for some college basketball. It's that time of year that we're in full swing, and we've got a busy week this week with Jackson State coming up at home tomorrow night, and then also a road trip to Lake Charles. We came back from Las Vegas where we played well. The last day did some really good things and actually played well the second half of the Milwaukee game. But dug ourselves a hole offensively and had trouble scoring the ball. And the first half against Milwaukee, but came back in the second half and actually had a 6-point lead late in the game and lost a missed free throw out of bounds that was off our fingertips that could have put us up 8 or 9 points and might have ended the ball game. But didn't happen. Milwaukee made a couple of plays down the stretch they needed to make and took the ball from us and scored and got the lead and were able to hang on and win that ball game. And then, as I said, we played very well against Oral Roberts. So we were encouraged by that. We gave the guys a couple of days off and came back at it Sunday night and had a good practice yesterday afternoon, and we're looking forward to tomorrow against Jackson State.
Questions? Would it be safe to say if you played like you did against Oral Roberts, you'd probably be at the worst 4-1 right now?
I think that's fair to say. Dan, we did a good job in a lot of areas, really good defensively for most of the game, and we were able to score and attack their pressure and get some easy baskets. And we didn't have Sean Long in either game and really didn't have him in Auburn either. He had 6 points and 2 rebounds and was not a factor in that ball game. So we played well enough against Oral Roberts. If we'd done that in some earlier games, we would have a better record.
What is the status of Sean?
Practiced Sunday and yesterday and looked good. So we'll see how he is today. But I think the rest did all our guys some good, especially him. He's had a bone bruise and tendonitis in his foot, and it's really bothered his mobility. His lateral movement has not been very good, and his explosiveness either. And he's starting to get some of that back.
Casey came off the bench at a big ball game. I guess my question would be, why are some players maybe better off the bench than as a starter?
Just to sit back and let the flow take place and understand how they can impact the game. And Casey and I talked about this a few weeks ago, and he came by my office and we talked about the possibility of him coming off the bench, and he said something that was something that he wouldn't mind doing. And I think from an offensive standpoint, he can really be effective there. He came in and made shots, made a big three-pointer right before the half that gave some momentum going into halftime against ORU.
The Vegas trip, you saw some good from Casey and some bad from Casey. What do you feel is his adjustment to playing 1 and 2 simultaneously?
Well, he's going to continue to play both. He's turning the ball over too much at the 1. He's too careless with the ball at times. He's too upright. He's got to get low, and his decision-making is good, but he hasn't executed some of the decisions. So, therefore, he's had too many turnovers. And he's not the only one in that category either.
With Brian Williams kind of having to take a larger role than he's used to in the past, what adjustments does he have to make, and how do you think he's doing?
Brian's doing well. He is coming from a system that's different than ours. He's had to learn on the fly, and he came in a little bit passive in the summer, wanting to fit in and not being aggressive as he could be on the offense and defensive end, but has since done much better. And we got into fall practice and think he's done well, and also in these past games he's done well. Had a great first half against Auburn and then really played good against Oral Roberts as well.
Is that something that you expected, just knowing maybe part of the reason for his transfer was to get more time and to get more opportunities? Was that something you felt, you said it was passive at first, but you think he could really do what he wanted to do?
Yeah, exactly. He wanted to fit in. I mean, he's trying to come in as a senior. You have 1 year to play, and he's trying to gel with the rest of his teammates. And that's what it's all about, is getting better and learning to play together. We've played 5 games. I mean, we got a long way to go, and I don't expect us to come out and all be on the same page this early in the year. But I like where Brian is. He had a really good practice yesterday, and look forward to his play tomorrow night.
Well, you said at the beginning of the year that that both for Washington and Stowe would be playing time, and they played quite a bit of minutes, especially Washington and showing up playing. Talk a little bit about the progress on those kids.
They've both done well. They're certainly cerebral players that understand the game and are quick to pick up what we're trying to do on both ends of the court. Physically, they're strong as well and can take a blow, can rebound the ball, defend at the Division I level. So I'm excited about what they've done. They both have started games and have played well at times during games.
How valuable was it to get that? The way you guys won against Laurel without Sean. Not only does he give players valuable minutes, but if he does get into foul trouble, the team still has confidence that they can win.
Well, this is a good point, Dave. And last year, you look at Coastal Carolina at the tournament there, Maui on the mainland. Sean's MVP. He had 2 great games, and we beat Oakland and Coastal Carolina. And then this time he doesn't play, and we should have won both games again without him, as you mentioned. But it's a good experience for our team for him to be out or be in foul trouble to see what we can do. We certainly play smaller at times when he's out, and that can work to our advantage, especially defensively.
Where's the ceiling on Devontae Walker?
It's hard to say. He's struggled a little bit. He's trying to go too fast on the offensive end. He's been a little bit loose with the basketball like Casey, trying to do too much. But I thought he played very good against Oral Roberts, especially in the second half. He jumped up and hit a couple of shots from the high post. He's going to get to the free throw line quite a bit, and he certainly can rebound the basketball. So we think he's got a high ceiling. Think he was an all-conference type player when we recruited him.
You had a close one with Jackson State last year. How does this year's team compare to what they had last year?
Jackson State's team is a little bit different. They lost their 2 leading scorers. They've got a guy in Javaris Brent that can really shoot the ball, a lefty that'll shoot it from the logo. We'll have to guard him as soon as he gets off the bus because he's got the green light and he'll let it go. And they've got some guys inside that play hard as well. Bolden's a really good inside player that played last year, but they lost their 2 leading scorers from a year ago where they hurt us in the paint. We were out rebounded last year up there by a couple and outscored 48-24 in the paint. Our transition defense was poor. We didn't guard in the half court at times, and we missed too many free throws in that ball game and still had an opportunity to win. But they outplayed us up there last year and beat us bad at the free throw line. It was a game. Alfred was 8 for 16 from the free throw line. He was also 2 of 8 for 3. And we needed to make a couple more shots, and we need to be better on interior defense to have a chance to win that game.
4 straight on the road, now 4 or 5 at home. Was the road trip a good bonding experience? And explain what advantages to be 4 or 5 at home, especially when we got final split.
Well, it was a good bonding experience to travel and to go, first of all, going to Tulsa and then coming back and having one day and then turn around and go to class, practice, and head off to New Orleans, which was a very difficult journey to Auburn. We went to class, went to class, practiced, traveled by bus to New Orleans, flew to Atlanta, bus to Auburn, and stopped and ate along the way, and then had a meeting with the team when we got there. I mean, it's 11 o'clock at night, so when we're getting into bed. And then we left Saturday morning, we left the hotel at Auburn at 7:30 and flew to San Antonio on a Southwest Airlines flight and weren't able to get off the plane. So it took about a 6-hour trip to get out there, and we were exhausted. But it was a good bonding experience for our team to go out and play and meet while we were in Vegas. We met every day, and I think the time away from home was good. And that trip was by design to give us an opportunity to grow as a unit and learn more about each other and get ready to play. Now, coming back home is a different story. We're excited to be home, and we look forward to playing in the Cajun Dome. We practiced Sunday night in there, and yesterday afternoon in there, and it felt great. So we're glad to be home. We want to play well here, continue to get better, and get ready for Saturday's game on the road again.
I know last year, at least starting off the year, I guess what people say, rebounding was kind of the big thing you were harping on. Is there something you see already that you kind of want to see improved on a game-to-game basis that stands out?
Well, we got to take better care of the basketball. I mean, you look at teams across the board, and everybody's turning the ball over too early in the season, too many times. And maybe it's because we're playing too many games early. All the tournaments that I've watched, there are a lot of teams that are having more turnovers than field goals, and that's never a good sign. And if you play Kentucky, that happens, and you also have fewer field goals and blocked shots by them. So that's a real problem. But you got to hang on to the basketball. We've got to do a better job. We've turned it over a lot of different ways. Against Tulsa, we had three illegal screens. We had a couple of post-ups. We had several walking calls as well as some bad passes, and they actually stole a couple of balls. The other night, we didn't have any illegal screens. We're throwing the ball away. We're making decisions that are sound, but we're not making sound execution and completing the play. And that's what's hurt us with the turnovers. But that's the main area that I think that we need to improve on, and we will. Last year was the best year that we'd had in several years taking care of the basketball, and hopefully we can get back to that level.
Hey, Coach, you look at Xavier Rivers, one of your leaders of the team. How do you like the report so far?
His stats aren't great. He hasn't shot the ball well. He's been the key focal point of the scouting report for the other team as a perimeter shooter, and his percentage is low to date, but he will get that up. And I like the way he's tried to lead the team. He's had some struggles defensively, but he's been very good in some other areas too that don't show up in the stat sheet.
With how much the young guys, like school and the AAU and all that, do all the travel and play all the year round like they do, it's like 24 on the road and that kind of travel on the field for them in the first year, or was it a little adjustment period for them?
For the young guys, it's still a little bit of adjustment to them. They're used to going to Vegas. All those guys have gone to Vegas every summer to play in the AAU events, but to go as a team, it was a little bit different. But to get in the routine of what we do on the road, and as far as meeting and reviewing our notebooks night before a game, and shooting practice the day of, etc., it's new for those guys, and they're fitting in well. And that was a good opportunity again. We had a scrimmage earlier away from home, and then this travel opportunity to Tulsa and then quickly turn around and going to Auburn and Las Vegas was a good experience for the young guys.
And then coming in for Brian again, kind of defense is where I think some of his was. You noticed that impact early on? Has it been noticeable?
Well, if you looked at the Tulsa game, I don't know if you saw that game, but he played extremely well, and he guarded Woodard, his first team All-American Athletic Conference, and it was the first time in over a year that he'd scored less than 10 points in a game. We did a great job on him, and then he had a really good game the other day against Wichita State. So he's a quality player that we totally took out of the game and gave us an opportunity to win. And then Brian played really good defense again on wasn't as good on Auburn at Auburn against KT Harrell, who's an all-SEC type player who scored 20 points on us. But he turned around and had a really good game against Oral Roberts and shut down a really good player again. So he's doing some things on the perimeter we knew he could do, and he's shooting the ball well. And we always want him to rebound a little bit better, so we stay on him about that. But his impact has been definitely noticed defensively.
Has there been anybody in the locker room just kind of taking that leadership role as a player, maybe either talk to the younger guys, maybe even to some of the younger guys taking that next step?
J.J. Davenport has done a good job with the guys as one of the seniors. He and Xavier and Brian have all done a good job with senior leadership, and I like where they are with their team.
Are you a pass line guy or no pass line guy?
I'm a room service, stay in the hotel room and order room service and watch video.
Did Mike Murphy keep it close with JJ in the Buffet game? Or?
I don't know. You'd have to ask Mike about that one. But we stayed in most of the tournament, or certainly I did. I got out and had a meal in the hotel, but one of the first times that I got out of the room the last night.